They never expected to find this inside a tiny cabin in South Carolina, but what they uncovered would shock the world. South Carolina, 1850. A hot, heavy air clung to the fields. Cotton swayed under the sun. Slaves worked tirelessly. But behind the rows of laborers, hidden deep in the woods, stood a small, weathered cabin. It looked ordinary, a simple wooden structure, barely more than 4 walls and a roof. No one paid it much attention. Inside lived Amara, the most beautiful woman anyone had ever seen in the county. Her hair black as midnight, eyes glimmering with secrets. Everyone whispered about her beauty. Few knew her mind was sharper than any planter or overseer. Her cabin was small, humble, yet something about it felt off. Visitors often said they felt a chill walking by. Her neighbors called it eerie. Even the overseer avoided it. Amara moved silently, gracefully. Her presence commanded attention without a word. She worked in the fields by day. She vanished into her cabin by night. And that's when the whispers started. They said she hid treasures. They said she knew things no one else did. They said she was different, but no one dared to look inside. Until one fateful morning, a curious stranger arrived. His eyes scanned the cabin. He stepped inside. What he saw stopped him cold. A simple table, a small chair, and something hidden beneath the floorboards. No one could have imagined the secrets tucked away in that tiny cabin. Little did anyone know, this discovery would change how they saw Amara forever. It would reveal a story of courage, mystery, and forbidden knowledge. And this is only the beginning. If you want to uncover the shocking secrets of Amara's cabin, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss the next. No one knew the truth about Amara until they peeked behind her cabin door. The sun rose slowly over the South Carolina fields. Birds sang. The wind rustled the trees. But inside Amara's cabin, silence ruled. She moved with purpose, each step careful, deliberate. Her hands worked quickly, cleaning, arranging, hiding. Amara wasn't just beautiful, she was smart, clever, resourceful. She had secrets no one could guess. Her cabin walls whispered them. Every corner held a story. A small, worn book lay on the table, its pages yellowed with age. It contained drawings, maps, notes in a language most couldn't read. Amara wrote there every night. She planned. She recorded. She remembered. Outside, life went on. Plantation owners bragged. Slaves labored. No one questioned the world beyond their fields. But Amara's mind traveled far. She dreamed of freedom. She dreamed of something greater. And she left clues for those who could see. Her neighbors were curious. Some tried to spy. Some whispered about her in hushed tones. But no one dared enter. They didn't know what they'd find. They didn't know that every object in her cabin had a purpose. A small chest, locked, heavy, mysterious. A jar of strange herbs. A locket with a hidden message. Even the floorboards seemed to hold secrets hidden beneath the wood. Amara knew the dangers. She knew the risks of being discovered. Yet she moved boldly, confident, careful. She wasn't just a woman living in a cabin. She was a mystery, a force hidden in plain sight. And the stranger who had glimpsed her cabin, he had no idea what he had stumbled upon. The real story of Amara's life was just beginning, and the secrets hidden inside her cabin were far more shocking than anyone could imagine. If you want to uncover what was hidden beneath her cabin and the shocking secrets Amara kept, like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss the next. What was hidden in Amara's cabin wasn't just valuable, it was dangerous. Amara's cabin was small, but every inch told a story. The walls were lined with simple shelves. On them, jars of herbs, bundles of dried flowers, small trinkets, things that seemed ordinary, but to Amara, they were powerful. Each object had meaning. Each hiding spot had a reason. She moved like a shadow, always careful. A single misstep could ruin everything. Her bed was simple, yet beneath it, a trap door. It led to a secret space, a space only she knew about. Inside, she kept her most precious possessions: a worn leather journal, a small chest with coins, letters tied with string. They weren't just treasures, they were messages, clues, pieces of her story she couldn't speak aloud. Amara worked quietly, her mind always racing. Outside, the plantation thrived. Owners boasted of their wealth. Slaves toiled endlessly. But inside that cabin, Amara had control. She held power in her hands where no one could see. The neighbors whispered again. Some feared her, some admired her. None could guess the truth. She wrote letters to people far away, letters never sent, plans never revealed, a secret network of knowledge that could change lives. And then there were the strange markings, carvings on the walls, symbols that made no sense to ordinary eyes. But to Amara, they were a language of survival. Every night, she studied the stars. Every night, she mapped her world, planning, waiting, hoping. She wasn't just surviving, she was preparing for something bigger, something dangerous. And the stranger who had first peeked inside, he had no idea what he had awakened. Amara's secrets were deep, and they were only getting started. If you're ready to discover what hidden messages and shocking secrets Amara's cabin held, like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss the next. No one expected to find what was hidden beneath Amara's floorboards. The cabin was quiet, too quiet. Amara moved like a whisper. Every sound outside seemed distant. Every shadow inside seemed alive. She knelt beside the floor. Her fingers traced the cracks in the wood, a loose board. Carefully, she lifted it. Beneath, darkness, a hollow space. Inside, objects carefully wrapped in cloth, a bundle of letters, a small iron key, and a tiny wooden box sealed tight. Her heart raced. These weren't just trinkets. These were pieces of a story long hidden. The letters were old, written in elegant handwriting. They spoke of secret meetings, of plans whispered under the night sky. The key, mysterious. It didn't match any lock she had, yet she felt its weight, its importance. And the box, she hesitated. Something inside it called to her. She opened it slowly. Inside were coins, trinkets, and a small folded note, a warning. Trust no one. Guard this at all costs. Amara's eyes widened. The cabin wasn't just a shelter, it was a vault, a place of secrets, a place of danger. Footsteps outside. She froze. No one must see this. No one must know. She hid everything back under the floorboards, covered it carefully. It was a secret she alone must carry. But whispers in the village were growing. People had begun noticing her strange habits. Curiosity was spreading. Amara knew the risk, and yet she felt a thrill that her hidden knowledge gave her power no one else possessed. The stranger who had first peered inside, he had only scratched the surface. What lay beneath the cabin's floorboards was far darker, far more dangerous, and it would soon change everything for those who stumbled upon it. If you want to uncover the shocking secret Amara hid beneath her cabin, like, comment, and subscribe to make sure you don't miss the next. What they found inside Amara's cabin would make the entire village whisper in fear. The sun sank low over the South Carolina fields. Shadows stretched across the cabin. Amara moved with caution. Her secret beneath the floorboards weighed heavy on her mind. But curiosity, it was dangerous, and it had a way of drawing others in. A villager, a stranger passing by, he noticed the cabin, the small curl of smoke from the chimney. He stepped inside. No one had dared enter before. His eyes scanned the room. Nothing seemed out of place. But then he noticed the floorboards. A soft tap, a hollow sound. He lifted the board. His jaw dropped. The letters, the key, the box, all exposed. Amara arrived just in time. Her hands shook, her voice sharp. "Put it back!" The man hesitated. Curiosity was stronger than fear. He unfolded one of the letters. His eyes widened. The words inside hinted at forbidden knowledge, secret alliances, hidden treasures, and a story of courage no one had imagined. Word spread fast. Whispers turned to rumors. Villagers speculated about the mysterious woman in the cabin. Some said she was a witch. Some said she had powers no one could understand. Others said she was hiding gold, or worse. Amara knew she had to act. The cabin was her sanctuary, her secret, and now it was at risk. She gathered the items quickly, hid them in new places, covered every trace of their existence. But the curiosity in the stranger's eyes, it lingered. He couldn't forget what he had seen, and soon neither could anyone else. Amara realized something chilling. Her life of quiet secrecy was over. The cabin had revealed more than she ever intended. And the discoveries had only begun. What lay beneath and what people were whispering about it would soon lead to consequences no one could predict. Rumors spread fast, and suddenly Amara was no longer just a mysterious woman. She was a threat. Whispers carried on the wind. Through the fields, through the village, Amara's name was on every tongue. She hides secrets, they said. She knows too much, others whispered. The stranger, who had seen the floorboard's treasures, couldn't stay silent. He told a friend, the friend told another, and soon the story spread like wildfire. The overseer caught wind. His eyes narrowed. The plantation's walls seemed smaller now, the cabin more suspicious. Amara felt it. The shift in the air, the fear creeping toward her. She moved carefully. Every day, every step, every glance was calculated. She couldn't leave, she couldn't flee. Not yet. People came to peek. Hushed voices near the edge of her cabin. Footsteps on the dirt path. She watched them from the shadows, ready to vanish if needed. Inside, she worked faster than ever. Letters hidden, trinkets relocated, every secret reinforced. But the village's imagination ran wild. They painted stories darker than reality. Some said she could control minds. Some said she summoned spirits. Some even claimed she had treasures stolen from faraway lands. Amara knew the danger, and she knew curiosity was deadly. Yet there was one thing she couldn't escape: the stranger. He lingered, his eyes searching, his questions probing. Every day she felt the walls of her cabin close in. Every night she wondered who would come next, who would expose her, who would take what was hers. And then, one evening, something changed. The stranger returned, not alone. He brought others. Amara's heart pounded. This was no longer curiosity. This was intrusion. And the cabin, her sanctuary, was about to become a battlefield. The deeper they dug, the more they realized Amara's secrets were darker than anyone imagined. The night was thick. The moon barely lit the cabin. Amara sensed it. The danger wasn't just curiosity anymore. It was coming for her. The stranger returned, this time with men. Men who wanted answers, men who wanted power. She stepped out, calm but defiant. Her beauty masked the storm brewing inside. "You're hiding something," the leader said. "You know more than we do." Amara's eyes narrowed. She didn't flinch. She had been hiding her life for years. Her past, her knowledge, her survival, everything. She remembered her parents, the stories they whispered by candlelight, stories of courage, of forbidden knowledge, of surviving against impossible odds. It wasn't just about wealth. It wasn't just about letters or trinkets. It was about a legacy. A power that no one else in the county could understand. The men pressed closer. They demanded the chest beneath the floorboards. They demanded the letters. They demanded the truth. Amara smiled faintly. "Some truths are dangerous," she said. She reached into her secret hollow beneath the floor, pulled out a bundle. Letters, keys, symbols, relics. The men gasped. Not for the gold, not for the trinkets, for the story, for the truth of a woman who had survived and thrived while the world tried to suppress her. Her past unfolded before them, her parents' struggles, her hidden alliances, her knowledge of escape routes, secret gatherings, coded messages. It was more than survival. It was rebellion in silence, a life lived under watchful eyes, but always one step ahead. The men realized the danger. They weren't just confronting a woman, they were confronting a force they could never control. Amara's cabin wasn't just wood and nails. It was a fortress, a library of secrets, a shrine to courage. And now the world outside was beginning to see it. If you want to uncover the shocking climax of Amara's story and see how her secrets shake the entire village, like, comment, and subscribe to follow next. Inside Amara's cabin, the secrets would no longer stay hidden. The men circled the cabin, their eyes hungry, their hands twitching toward power they couldn't understand. Amara stood firm, her heartbeat steady, her mind sharper than any blade. "You think you can take what is mine?" she whispered. Her voice calm, but it carried the weight of storms. One of the men stepped closer, gripped the floorboards. "Hand over everything," he demanded. Amara's fingers flew. She slammed the hidden chest into the floor, locking it in place. Symbols glowed faintly beneath her touch. A trap door sprang open. The men froze. A hidden pit beneath the cabin's floor revealed itself, dark, endless. Amara moved like lightning. She guided the chest safely inside the hollow. The men tried to follow. But the cabin had other plans. Loose boards shifted, jars fell. Her clever traps, set for years, triggered one by one. Chaos erupted. Dust clouded the room. Shouts filled the night. The intruders stumbled, blinded by the cabin itself. Amara stood in the doorway, calm, powerful, untouchable. Her beauty belied the danger she carried, the power she held, the secrets she could unleash. One by one, the men retreated. They had glimpsed her world and realized it was far beyond their reach. Outside, the village whispered. News of the confrontation spread like wildfire. The mysterious woman in the cabin. She was no longer just a legend. She was a force, a story that would not be silenced. Amara returned to her secret space beneath the floor. She secured the letters, the trinkets, the chest. Her sanctuary was safe. For now. But she knew the world outside would never stop seeking her secrets. Every whisper, every curious eye was a new threat. And in the shadows of her cabin, Amara smiled, because she was ready. If you want to discover how Amara's secrets finally reveal the truth and the shocking consequences that follow, like, comment, and subscribe to watch next. After the confrontation, the village would never see Amara the same way again. The sun rose over the fields, but the village felt different. The air was heavy with whispers, fear, curiosity, awe. Amara moved quietly through her cabin. The chest beneath the floorboards remained safe, but the world outside had changed. Villagers told stories, exaggerated, twisted, dark. Some said she had magic. Some said she could see the future. Some swore the cabin itself fought for her. The stranger who first discovered her secrets, he couldn't sleep. He couldn't stop thinking about the hidden letters, the key, the chest, the mysterious symbols carved in the walls. He returned to the village square. He spoke. The whispers grew louder. Amara watched from her window, her heart steady, her mind calculating. She realized the cabin had become more than a sanctuary. It was now a legend, a story that would live far beyond her life. Some tried to approach her, to steal what they believed was treasure. Some tried to uncover her secrets. All failed. Amara had learned well. Every trap, every hidden space, every coded message protected her, protected the story she had been entrusted to keep alive. But there was a price. She could no longer walk freely, no longer speak without caution. Her life, shadowed by fear and fascination. And yet, she smiled, because the truth was hers. The power of knowledge, of courage, of survival. It couldn't be taken. The village may whisper, the strangers may pry, but the real secret, the story beneath the floorboards, was untouchable. Amara knew the final lesson. Secrets were dangerous. Power was dangerous. But wisdom could survive anything. If you want to see how Amara's story finally concludes and the legacy of her secrets is revealed, like, comment, and subscribe to watch next the shocking finale. At last, the full truth of Amara's cabin would be revealed, and it changed everything. The cabin stood silent. Sunlight filtered through the cracks in the wood. The fields beyond were calm, but inside, history whispered. Amara moved with quiet purpose. Every object in her cabin had a story, every hidden letter, every carved symbol, a message. The villagers had come and gone, the curious, the greedy, the fearful, all had witnessed fragments. But the full truth, only she knew. She opened her journal, every entry, every plan, every secret carefully recorded. Her life wasn't just survival, it was resistance, it was courage, it was a rebellion carried out in silence. The chest beneath the floorboards held more than trinkets. It held the proof of her intelligence, her alliances, her foresight, a map of escape routes, letters to allies, strategies to protect those like her. Amara smiled. For years, the world tried to define her, whisper her into fear, misunderstand her brilliance. But now, the story was hers, completely. The stranger who first uncovered the cabin's secret returned one last time. He bowed, humbled, not by wealth, not by beauty, but by the depth of her mind. Amara's legacy was not the cabin, not the hidden letters. It was her story, her courage, her ability to survive, to thrive, to hide the truth until the world was ready to see it. And the cabin? It remained, a silent witness, a fortress of secrets, a place that had seen fear, curiosity, greed, and survived them all. Her story spread slowly, a legend, whispered across the South, a testament to a woman who refused to be silenced. Amara stepped outside, the sun on her face, the wind through the trees. She was free in ways the world could never touch. The cabin had kept its secrets, but her story, would live forever.